Yeah, I think obviously it's going to be something I'll remember for the rest of my life. I think your first NHL goal is definitely pretty cool accomplishment, pretty cool milestone. Definitely something pretty special for me. Definitely going to remember it for the rest of my life.
And of course,
your teammates say to you?
Just congratulations. Yeah, everyone was pretty happy for me and just congratulating me, and also told me to go get another one. And unfortunately, couldn't do that. But yeah, everyone was super happy, excited, and congratulating me.
Of course, you
have a couple other chances on the first period. It must have felt pretty good to get in the flow of the game that early.
For sure, yeah, it's always nice, having some scoring opportunities and creating some momentum and some chances in the ozone. And unfortunately, couldn't capitalize on some of those other ones. But it's nice to see those chances are coming. Nice to see that those opportunities are coming more often.
Of course, getting a first goal is always important, but then you look at the context of who it came against. I mean, how much does that mean to you, knowing it came against them?
I mean, I don't think it really means as much. I think what matters most to me is my first goal. I think that's the most important part. Is it doesn't matter who it's against, how winning. I think just in general, the feeling of scoring your first goal in the NHL is always an incredible feeling, and that's the part we remember the most.
Is there a sense of relief that milestone is checked off now, and no one's to worry about that anymore? Your next one's going to be number 2, and is there some relief that you feel?
Maybe a little bit. I think more so just happiness, enjoyment. Obviously, feels good to finally score one. Feels good to finally hit the back of the net. Always, anytime you can score and help your team out during the game, it always feels good. So maybe a little bit of relief. I think more so it's more excitement and happiness, enjoyment, all that.
Now that you've had that AHL experience, how did the speed and the pace of the game look to you early on compared to what you were playing in your first 7 games?
Yeah, I think I was definitely able to adjust to it a little better. I think having those AHL games definitely really made me able to adjust to that speed a little better. Obviously, the NHL is going to be faster than the AHL. It's the best league in the world, but I think the AHL is still really good league, and there's still some really good players, and it's a fast game as well. So I think that really those 5 games down there really kind of helped me bring my confidence up. Confidence I can play at that level, that speed.
So you weren't the least bit, tiny bit more motivated tonight against these guys?
Maybe a little bit. I think, I mean, I just kind of treat it as another hockey game. I think for me, it was more important, coming off the conditioning stint. My first game after that, I think that was more important to kind of come out with a good start and really show that the time down there helped me out, really grow and developed a lot down there. So I wouldn't say it'd be sweeter scoring against any other team or Montreal or whatever it is. I think overall it just feels good to score in general.
And when you think about a game like this, I mean, what do you think it does for you going forward in the sense of confidence and finding more consistency?
Yeah, I think bringing up the word confidence quite a bit, but it's always gonna, I think that just kind of helps boost that even more. Anytime you can score, you definitely, maybe you don't really notice it, maybe a little weight's lift off your shoulders, especially after not scoring for 7 games there. So definitely gonna hopefully bring that confidence moving forward here.
Shane, you kept finding those opportunities in front of the net for chances. What was kind of working for you? What were you searching for in getting to the front of the net like that?
Yeah, I think just kind of exactly that. Just getting to the front of the net. Majority of the goals are scored from inside the blue paint, inside the crease there. So if I want to score goals, if I want to create opportunities, that's where I got to go. And I got 2 pretty good line mates there in Gordo and Bjorkstrand to help me out. Those are some 2 pretty good players with pretty good careers of their own. So it was fun playing with those guys. And just kind of go to the net and try to create those chances as best as I can.
Where's your puck going? What are you gonna do with it?
I'm not sure where the puck is right now, actually, but I'll figure that out after. Yeah.
Had your confidence starting to wane a little bit? Was it becoming an issue before going down to the AHL?
Maybe a little bit. I mean, I wouldn't say it was really an issue. I think I was just kind of finding my legs a little bit, trying to find my stride, trying to figure out exactly how to play the league, kind of how to adjust to the space and the pace and speed. Yeah, I wouldn't say it was I was lacking confidence. I think that I just had to kind of build up that confidence a little more. I wouldn't say it wasn't there at all. I think that just had to build up a little more to make sure that I was comfortable playing at that speed level.
How much did your own expectations of what you were going to be in the NHL play into that? Because you've been thinking about it for so long and had a certain vision, I guess, of what that would go like. Was that a factor too?
I mean, I think that anytime you come into the NHL, you picture yourself playing right away. You picture yourself scoring lots and getting points, and at the end of the day, that's not the reality of the NHL and stepping in as an 18-year-old. You have to work yourself up. You have to make sure that you earn everything you get, and I didn't really. to be honest, I didn't really have too many expectations. I just kind of want to take it one day at a time. Just really wanted to learn and develop from the coaches and the other players on the team, and just kind of take it one day at a time, and just kind of keep taking steps forwards every single day.
How often do you have to remind yourself that at the end of the day you still are an 18-year-old? Like, yeah, an 18-year-old can do things a lot of 18-year-olds can't do, but you're still 18.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely have to, sometimes put in perspective for myself is, it's going to take some time. It's not going to come right away. You're not going to have enormous amount of success right away. It's going to take some learning experience. It's going to take some failure and mistakes and all that. But the coaches and all the players have been great to me. All the teammates have been awesome, and I think that's just kind of part of the learning experience. Is just taking the mistakes in stride and learning from them, and hopefully we can grow and learn off them.
There's a bunch of things, obviously. I think it starts with our changes. We had some bad changes tonight, and I had one there that kind of resulted in a goal. So got to be better, and got to watch the video and move on.
Well, the penalty kill was perfect tonight. I know you don't spend a lot of time killing penalties typically, but what did you see from them that made that part of the game successful tonight?
I felt we pressured the puck a lot. We made him rim it a lot, and we just had a lot of energy, which was nice.
You guys have managed to avoid these kinds of lapses for a while now. It looked like you had control of most of this game, except for those. What can you do to avoid those?
Well, we have plays, I feel like, defensively that we can, kind of just keep it simple. Just, if there's nothing there, just glassing out. And I think that kind of hurts us sometimes. And, as a winger, me personally, I got to do a better job of getting, putting my centermen in better positions and making it easier on them.
How happy were you to see Shane Wright get his first goal?
Oh, it's awesome. He's a great kid. And, obviously, him going down to the minors there, he battled and he worked his bag off, and it was good to see.
What did you think about the offensive output tonight? It seemed like you guys were getting a lot of chances. Colin was making a lot of nice saves.
Yeah. No, we felt like we controlled a lot of the game down low, and made some good plays to the middle, and you're right, he made some good saves for him.
Well, they're all different. So you give up the goals that we did in the second period. Those are hard to dig out from. The two quick ones, and then the one later in the period. So those they capitalized on those opportunities, and they made us pay for those.
You've managed to avoid these kinds of lapses for a while. You had some early in the season, the momentary lapses in games where you outplay your opponents. Was it a lack of focus?
No, we had a turnover. Those at the end of a shift we had a turnover. We made a mistake on a face-off. And those they're different plays, but those bump up shifts are very important, right? You gotta make sure that you seal those off and push back the other way. And we've been outstanding in that area. We didn't get it done tonight. And those are, like I said, those have been points of emphasis for us, and have been a big part of successful games for us.
It's kind of an awkward game for a goalie where he has so few shots, and when they're coming, they seem to be those kind of grade A opportunities. What did you think of Martin Jones' game tonight?
Yeah, the first one was a weird one. I still can't tell if it went off of Berkey or not. Went through traffic, but the next three, those are backdoor looks. And I'm not sure if he had touches in between. Many of those, he probably had a couple touches in between those. So those aren't on Jonesy.
Dave, after a 3-1 lead, still feel like it was a winnable game at that point?
Yeah, well, going into the third period, it's a winnable game, but we couldn't get that one to burst through. Good chances in the third period, but again, when you get down and you got to chase a game, now you're looking for life, and we couldn't find life in it, and we had a couple good chances in the first few, especially the first few minutes, that would have been able to maybe push the momentum for us, but we weren't able to finish on those.
The penalty kill was perfect tonight. Where did you see some of that success coming from?
There's nothing special to it. We were a little bit better in our, in just our cohesion with our pressure, all over the rink, and that's, that's a nice step forward. That's a real positive for that group. We used a couple new and different guys in the rotations. We added a couple of forwards into the mix to add a little bit more energy and make sure we were fresh out there. And those guys went out and they, as a group, they did a good job in that area. That's a positive step.
Shane gets his first goal tonight. Had a couple other really good looks too. Just kind of your thoughts on his goal and then his night coming back in the lineup for you.
Yeah, early in the first, in the first period, he had 3 or 4, good looks. I think I believe 3 of them were on that. One was obviously the goal. He may have missed on one more. So that line had some jump, and he was, he wasn't, he was a big part of it. that's what you want to see as he came back in the lineup. That type of energy and just playmaking ability that he showed.
Did it look a little different from before he went down, would you say?
Yeah, well, his confidence was good coming in. He was, you see that. We've seen it from, sporadically from time to time. Now, that's a level that, he needs to work to sustain. As you go through a hockey game and beyond. So, those were, I think everybody was excited for him to get his first goal. And happy to see him have that type of start to the hockey game.
Any issues with Will Borgen, who took that shot at the end and went to the room?
I just have had a quick update. I don't believe so, but we'll reevaluate obviously as we get into later in the evening tonight and tomorrow morning.
Practice Thursday. Any particular things you're going to work on on the defensive side?
Yeah, no. Well, no. We gave up. I don't know how many shots did we give up tonight.
It was 6.
So we got to clean up a couple things that we know are blatant and obvious. So we don't need necessarily to practice, to do that. What we do need to do is get in a little bit better sync with the puck, and that's where tonight we weren't efficient enough, in terms of getting through the neutral zone, getting out of our zone, getting through the neutral zone, and being cohesive with the puck. So defensively, those things are, we know what those issues are, and that's a quick cleanup. But our play with the puck has to get, a little bit more organized and a little bit more cohesion to it.